And now
I love movies. Bob's Movie Club.
Woo!
We got some movies for you.
Yeah, we do.
Bob's Movie Club. Bob's Movie Club.
Movies are great.
Movies are great, but this movie's a maze. Today we are talking about the all-new movie Project Hail Mary, currently in theaters. Ryan Gosling wakes up in space alone, confused, and he is tasked with using microbiology to save Earth, save the sun, really. And on his journey, we're going to be doing full spoilers. On his journey, he meets an adorable alien, and together they form a beautiful friendship and save both of their planets. What did we think of Project Hail Mary?
We loved it.
We did.
We did love it. I believe all four of us read the book.
Yes, we did. I listened to the audiobook, which was phenomenal. Highly recommend.
It was a good way to do it because of the voice of the alien. It was really well performed.
Yeah, absolutely. Vinny, I know you're bursting at the seams.
Well, I have already let some pressure out while you were away in taking care of your partner, but I will say that, first of all, I wasn't disappointed by the movie at all. After having read the book, I feared it was going to
How will they pull that off?
Suck. I really did. I thought this movie's going to be terrible, and they just put a beefcake in the role because that'll be what draws people in, and then the movie will be a flop. And it turned out they got it mostly right. The thing that I wanted to bring up about having read the book was it felt like because they had to cram so much of this book into a 2.5-hour movie,
right?
Almost 3 hours. I don't feel like they really did a good enough job describing the villain in this story. So the villain is the astrophage that is in the process of destroying not one, but 2 planets.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2 planets that are at risk have sent people up to help the situation. People, that's probably the wrong word. Saviors, heroes, whatever, are up there. Scientists are up there. But I don't feel like the astrophage is a big part of the book in that they don't know about it.
It's like
at
a character in the book, and it turns out it's everything.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes the power source that they use to get there. It's sort of a life-changing thing if you can control it.
Right.
They talk about that. I mean, they talk about that.
They mention it, and it's in there. And the school scene is where you see a little bit of the description, and then certainly it's part of what they're trying to uncover before the mission begins. I just didn't know, if you haven't read the book, if you find yourself not feeling a full picture of what the danger is with this stuff and why that the planet's at such risk.
707, I know S&V have been concerned for people who didn't read the book. Particularly, they thought we might not understand astrophage. I didn't read it and totally understood it all and loved the movie.
Oh, good.
Yeah, Susan didn't read the book, my fiance, and we went to see it together, and he cried. He didn't have any questions. He perfectly was understanding everything. It is amazing. The audiobook, I think, is 16 hours long, and they fit every twist and turn of the book into the movie down to the ending. I'm so glad they didn't decide to make any changes about
I feared that
Grace's decisions and where he ends up at the end of the movie choosing to be with Rocky. I mean, it's just...
By the way, spoilers
so
alerts.
I already said that.
No, she said it.
I'm so impressed that they that they stayed so true to the book. Yeah. And I'm so glad because I don't do a lot of reading, as we know, around here. And I didn't read this when I listened to it. But it is such a phenomenal book. And one of the coolest parts about it is that all of the science is real. That's like Andy Weir's gift. He did it with The Martian. He did it with Project Hail Mary. I think he says he made up one little thing in terms of microbiology, but everything else. Well, yes, but everything about its existence and how it works is plausible, like science fiction wise.
You know what? Plausible is the word. And that's, I think that was, as someone who had read the book, that to me, if there was anything missing, was that there were pages and pages of experiments and how exactly he was and exactly what the problem was.
And he made it so fun for like a non-science people.
I agree. That's one of his superpowers too, is like he makes science super interesting, you feel like you're grasping something new. And I did feel like, okay, well, it's a 2.5 hour movie. And the only thing they left out that I sort of loved about the book was at the very end, and again, nothing but spoilers here. He's on Rocky's planet and they have to feed him. And he eats very different things than they do. And they wind up making me burgers. They take some of his cells and culture them into meat.
Yes.
And then grind it up and feed it to him. And I thought, that's just the best part of it, is that's the only kind of protein he can get or whatever.
I didn't even remember that, but that's funny.
I was waiting for him to munch it into a me burger.
It's so inconsequential to the plot of the movie, though, in terms of detail.
They forgot nothing else.
Right.
So one of the things that you just mentioned, which I also was like, if they change that ending, I'm gonna
storm out.
I guess.
Here I am at the end of the movie. I'm storming out.
Yeah, I'm
throwing my popcorn.
The other thing was there's a pivotal character in this movie.
Yes, let's talk about
the lady
Ava Stratt.
that is charged with saving the world.
Yep.
And I feared, because I was, through the book, was able to imagine this character and her strength and she was definitely stern but also
hardcore.
At the bottom of all of this is clearly she has heart for the planet and care for, because she's trying. No one, if you didn't care, you'd go, I don't want that job.
She is so impressive and so real. What her power is being decisive. Mm-hmm. At one point, right before the mission is about to take off, Grace and her are having a moment because he clearly has a crush on her, because who wouldn't? She's so magnificent.
Total badass.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, it must be a hard decision for you to send these people up there knowing that they're going to die. And she's like, it's not. She is decisive and she's not afraid to stand behind her decisions. And that's why she's the person for the job.
And then she walks in and delivers this karaoke song. And I was crying. Like, I don't know if that got you guys, but for me, that was an absolute moment.
What?
And the song itself, I think, is that Harry?
It is. Sign of the Times by Harry Styles.
I absolutely was like, and now they show a different side to her that is just absolute. Like, I love the way they handled her.
I agree.
I love the actress, and I love the way they handled
Sandra
her.
Huller is the actress, by the way.
The way that she delivers this song, and everybody's just, and then she just walks out.
That's enough.
Yeah,
and
then walks away, and it's like she did not come out of character at all. It was like boom and boom.
The directors of the movie, Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, were at the screening that I went to a few weeks before the movie opened, and they talked about the two most important things for them in the movie were the relationship with Grace, between Grace and Ava Stratt, the scientist woman, or the project manager,
right,
and the relationship between Grace and Rocky. What did we think about Rocky?
I pictured Rocky scarier than that. He was, like a Rocky spider. He was, I felt like they had very much simplified his.
Yes. One of my big nitpicks is when they learn how to communicate with each other. I wish they had spent like one more minute on kind of explaining how Rocky sees the world and how he speaks and how they figure out how to talk to each other. Because I feel like of all the things in the book, they simplified that the most. And I feel like it's such a crux of like the science of the whole thing of Rocky's existence. I feel like they kind of like not dumbed it down, but made it digestible for kids even.
Yeah, they just did it. You're right. They did it really quickly. Like he spends a lot of time trying to figure out how he's going to learn this stuff. And
in the book, he's building a vocabulary on that computer for a long time.
Right, and they do show that. And my second time watching it, I went to see it again yesterday because I had to get out of the house. And love you, Susan.
Bye.
And it didn't bother me as much the second time. I just kind of went with it. But the first time, you can't help but compare everything to the book.
Of course.
One of the things I liked we're talking about Project Hail Mary. This is Bob's Movie Club. If you haven't seen the movie yet and you're tripping, like, don't tell me that we're spoiling things.
Yes.
So don't listen.
If you're in the club, we assume you've seen the movie.
Right. there's a scene right when there's contact, and with all of the weight of our world and his world hanging in the balance, there's still that jokey, ridiculous moment where he's like, sees the spaceship, it's 10 times the size of his, and all he wants to do is move. So he moves away, and 1 second later, the spaceship's right outside his window.
Yeah.
again.
Yes, and they do it in complete silence.
I was laughing at that. I thought, you need that scene.
Yeah.
Like, with all the weight of all of this, that scene was like, there it is.
And they do that through the whole
Ridiculous.
movie. They
Yeah.
keep it very light. And that's why I was suggesting after I saw it that you take Isla with you, who's 12, almost 13, because they definitely made it's PG-13, but they definitely made it digestible for kids to enjoy.
If this happened, I don't remember. You know, the thing about Rocky in the book is that he's been there for like 60
They don't
years.
mention that in the movie.
And
yeah.
so he's not afraid. He's desperate.
Right.
Everyone on his ship is dead because they weren't shielded from radiation by astrophage, which apparently his people somehow don't know about. They know the physical world differently than we do, and we knew that radiation was a problem.
They'd never been to space before, I think.
So they come up with this, and their spaceship. I loved the way they imagined it in the movie because it was just so bristly and like not. When we think of spaceships, we think of the flying saucer or some kind of a
Smooth
rockety
lines.
thing, right? Exactly. But that to me was an important thing that he had been there that long. Of course, the guy moves away. Grace moves his spaceship, and this guy's like, you are the only contact I've had in 60 years.
And that's also so Rocky's personality. And I love that he has such a strong personality.
Yes.
He's eager, he's impatient, he's bossy, which Grace talks about when he's making the videos for Back Home. The word is bossy. Yeah,
Right.
it's hilarious. Their chemistry is so good.
It's great.
And you never feel like you're looking at a CGI thing.
I believe you're not.
No, yes, it's mostly a puppet.
Yeah.
And the puppeteer, Robert Ortiz, he ends up being the voice of Rocky. So when he's actually moving Rocky around, he and Ryan Gosling are scene partners and they're able to act together, and it pays off so much. All the effects in this movie are exactly how we should be making movies. Forget CGI, forget superhero movies, those big scenes.
Green screen stuff.
They built the whole ship and all the rooms in the ship, and they even made them so when the ship goes into its centrifuge phase to create gravity, the ship changes orientation, which they actually added that wasn't in the book. And they made it so all the rooms could stack on top of each other so that they could film it from any angle and make it feel so real and make you feel like you're in it. I love it. It's so expensive, but I love it.
What you're mentioning right now is one of the there's a lot of big questions if you've read the book and then you find yourself in the movie theater waiting for it to start. You start to go, and believe me, I've never made a movie, so I don't know. I just assume there are meetings with, how are we going to do this?
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to freaking do this? And they did it right. Even though some of the scenes where each of the atmospheres are poison to the other. And so for them to share space, they've got to figure that out. And then they've got to do what the book says that has been done. And as you say, without doing it on a green screen, it worked. It worked, and it was great. And I would have been bummed if it would have been phonied up. It wasn't. In your imagination, if you've read the book, he builds this almost habit trail throughout the spaceship.
Almost like they split the space.
And they weren't able to duplicate that, which
Right.
kind of left me going, okay, but in the end, they did it right.
I
You're
like
right.
his hamster ball.
Yeah. the hamster
Some
ball's
texts
funny.
coming in.
All right.
510. In an interview on CBS, morning show, Ryan Gosling says that he heard his fellow actress singing in her dressing room, so he approached the director about having her sing in the karaoke scene. So they added that to the script. That's from Edmundo, our friend from Oakland.
Oh.
Yeah, and the actress's daughter helped her pick the song. They picked it the night before, and they're like, "This is the song we want to do." And they're like, "Okay, hopefully we can get the rights for one of the biggest songs of Harry Styles' careers." So they just had to pay.
I wonder if Harry Styles has seen this and is like, no, that's so perfect.
It took, for me, I shouldn't say it took the house down because there were only 7 people in the movie theater, but for me, I absolutely went, that is a touching moment that I will never forget.
Yeah.
Like this stern,
Aw.
like, you know, and that song, like I have a tear running down my face to a Harry Styles song.
Oh,
I love that song.
That makes me so happy.
I like it too, but I'm just saying, I mean, we've played it here for
Yeah,
years, but I took it for granted.
the way she sang it.
It needed to
The
be at the end of
lyrics.
the world sung by a German chick for
Yeah.
me to really go, okay, I this is touching.
408. Vinny always mentions two big things that happened in the book. I felt like there were many big things. What two are you talking about?
There's a scene where he is asked a question. He has to do something. It's the biggest decision anyone could make in their life, and his decision is the wrong one.
Mm-hmm. We're talking about Project Hail Mary, by the way.
And I am shocked. I was in the book, reading the book. I was shocked by that. Like the absolute anti-hero situation where he's
a coward.
Yeah, he is.
And even in the book, and they do say it at some point in the movie, they're like, you don't have a wife, you don't have kids, you don't even have a dog. And he's like, no.
I know. I don't understand how he pictures himself staying on Earth and watching everybody die. I don't think it's really because he doesn't want to die. I think he's just scared that he's not going to be able to do it.
Anyone would be. Anyone would be by the enormity of the task. And yet, even if you were just going to ship me out into space and die before I hit the actual space. I watched a rocket launch yesterday, so that's kind of top of mind. But
it was great.
Fine. Kill me on the launch. I don't care. I'd rather do that than be the guy sitting at home going, I probably should have done that.
I know. Can you imagine what his life would have been like if 30 years later the planet basically died and all the chaos that would have happened leading up to that point? And he was like, I could have gone. I should have gone.
Yeah, you would be so full of regret. So it's so great the movie's about rising to the occasion.
And even though, well, and that's when he's on that thing going, who am I and where am I and what has happened here? That's that moment where you're going, oh my God, she sent him.
Yeah.
She sent him unbeknownst to, and they explain that more in the book, that there's like a memory loss due to the
induced
coma or whatever.
So what are you rating this movie?
So I really did love the book. I really do love the movie. I'll give it a 4.5.
I would give it a 4.5 as well. Sarah?
I'll give it a 5. It's everything I want in a movie. It's I really do feel like you didn't have to read the book. They simplified it. It's exciting. I loved the way they did the flashback stuff. I thought that might be hard to handle having read the book. I just think it's an excellent, super fun movie.
Great watch, absolutely.
Total 5. I don't remember the last time I went and saw a movie in the theaters and was thinking, I can't wait to watch this again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like I don't remember the last time that's happened. Usually I watch a movie in the theater and I'm like, okay, that's done.
There's that. I got that done. Check.
Maybe I'll watch it when it's free sometime, but like I'm already like, I need
I know.
to go back
Even
and see
talking about it, I'm like, oh, I really.
Yeah.
Can't wait to watch that.
miss when you miss a movie. You know what I mean? When you leave the movie theater and you're in that world and you go home and you're like, I miss being in that movie. I really want to get back into that movie. So that's a 5 for me.
I would also add that while we are used to men playing this heroic role where they go through all this stuff, and Ryan Gosling is doing all of a lot of the heavy lifting, watching her be the hero of the story in the way that I see it,
yes.
You might not, but I see that person
she made it happen.
Is saving everyone on the planet and more, and that is a badass role, and I hope that continues. For me, I thought she was great.
Yep, she was perfect.
I have chills.
Like I would give her if out of 5, she gets 5, and if there's, I don't know if it's a supporting actress or what, but she should get it.
Yeah.
I love that.
She better get that because she was great.
She was incredible.
And what's her name? Because I'm sitting here saying
Sandra Huller. She plays
lady.
Ava. This movie, this movie is a smash hit. So if you haven't checked out Project Hail Mary, highly recommend.
Yeah, you will love it. Great job, Bob. Another successful Bob's Movie Club. We'll be back after this.
Oh my God, that's a great idea.
You're waking up with Sarah and Vinnie.